After the full-on whomping the Leafs got a few days ago by the Tampa Bay Lightning, they go into Florida, into Sunrise, Florida, to take on the Panthers, one of the best teams in the entire league today. And you know what? As much as the Leafs did lose 3-2 in overtime, I think the Leafs played a pretty good hockey game. And if I'm a pure hockey fan, what a game to watch. I mean, the high-octane offense for both teams, two of the highest scoring teams in the league this season. And it's a 3-2 game because goaltending was on point. You know, Bobrovsky made some big saves. Jack Campbell made some incredible saves. And it took an overtime goal for Brendan Montour to win it for the Florida Panthers. With the loss, the Leafs, with the point though, the Leafs are 51-21-7 on the year. And with the Tampa Bay Lightning beating the Nashville Predators today, and with the Leafs grabbing a point, the Leafs are, I believe, 5 points up on the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Tampa has, 4 games remaining? The Leafs have 3. I believe that's the standings update if you guys want that. But let's break down this game. First period, the Leafs come out flying and they get the early lead as they did in the last time they were in Florida. And Mitch Marner, it was a bounce pass. It was a Brody O'Reilly who dumps a puck down the ice. And it goes off the boards and it comes back out in front. Mitch Marner walks into this one and slaps it past Sergei Bobrovsky. And the Leafs are in front 1-0. Riley and Brody grab assists on that goal at 3:25 of the first period. Just like that, the boys are in front. You're feeling great. Then, late in the period, Justin Holl enters the zone, fires the puck towards the net. Pierre Engvall, I believe, is standing in front of the net, but so is Radko Gudas. They're kind of tied up in front. And if you're Justin Holl, you just fire it to the net. Hopefully it hits Engvall or even Gudas. And in this fact, it hit Radko Gudas, and it goes in past Bobrovsky. David Camp, TJ Brody grab assists on that goal at 17:20, and the Leafs are up 2-0. Right? 13-8 shots after the first period. You're up 2-0. You're feeling pretty good. However, every Leaf fan knows the Florida Panthers can score. So you know they're going to get their opportunities, and you know they're going to get their goals. It's just a matter of when, how, and if the Leafs can match it, right? And in that second period, Alexander Barkov scores. And, you know, kind of grimy, but, hey, they all count. And, you know, Justin Holl gets caught pinching and leaves Nylander skating backwards, and he looked all out of sorts, but he shouldn't be having to play defense like that because Justin Holl is pinching. I'm not really sure. Look, I understand he likes to be aggressive, but he is not the guy I want to see rushing up into an offensive play. He's really not. Because then when he gets caught, he ain't quick to get back. He's really not. And Nylander getting caught, Marchment goes around him, the initial play happens, obviously Nylander and the other defenseman back up, right, because Marchment's in almost behind them, and the puck just lies there for Alexander Barkov, and he buries it past Jack Campbell to make it a 2-1 game. That goes at 6:26 of the second period. Then TJ Brody takes a penalty about 5 minutes to go in the second period, rather. And yeah, honestly, that was a penalty that I'm okay with taking at that moment in time, right? Because he's dragging the guy down. He kind of had him beat. So it's like either let him get around you and get on a short little breakaway, or take him down and no chance happen and, you know, trust your PK. I mean, I agree with what Brody did. However, didn't take very long. Claude Giroux wires one, and there's a great screen in front. I can't remember who it was who was screening Jack Campbell. Nobody cleared him out in front. Jack can't see squat, and he fires the far side. And it's a 2-2 hockey game. Giroux scores at 14:54 of the second period. And we're tied. Shots on goal in the second period were 16-10 in favor of the Panthers. And now it's the third period. Look, if you're a Leaf fan, you think the momentum is shifted. They won in shots on goal. They both score both goals in the second. It's a tie game. The fans are in it. It's going to be a tough third. And it was a back and forth craziness affair. And Leaf fans, I know we love to, you know, because let's be honest here. Most Leaf fans, every time we win, every time the Buds win, it's like, well, let's do it in the playoffs. And every time they lose, oh, this team's trash, they can't do this, they can't. So nobody can be happy. But watch Florida's defense in that third period, and you can't tell me that's better than the Toronto Maple Leafs. There was a moment there. We're on 3 straight offensive zone entries for the Leafs. They were all 2-on-1s. Now, obviously, nothing, you know, amounted to them. But just the breakdowns defensively. 3 in a row in the matter of like 2 minutes. Pretty wild. Whereas the Leafs didn't really allow that in the third period, but it was back and forth, shots on goals, 12-9 in favor of the Leafs in the third period. But, you know, again, it's all about a game of inches. Hockey's all about a game of inches, right? Because you think about it. David Kampf, standing at the side of the net, a slap pass from the point, goes off his stick, just barely misses it, right? We can talk about John Tavares on one of those 2-on-1s, finishes, and Bobrovsky's like going down. I don't know, he's going down, and luckily it hits like his shoulder, where like the crest is for Florida. Any higher, that's in the back of the net, and the Leafs got the lead. It's all a game of inches. Unfortunately, Leafs can't bury anything in the third period, but I thought to myself, you know what? With the Leafs just trying to get home ice somehow, they won at least a point against the Florida Panthers in Florida, the best team on home ice at scoring goals. They score the most amount of goals on home ice. The Leafs actually score the most on the road, which is kind of wild to think about. So you got the point, which was great. And every opportunity the Leafs had in overtime, the guys were dead tired. I'm watching Marner's, Marner and Matthews almost having a 2-on-1 and them not having any legs left. I mean, that's brutal. And then John Tavares, again, near the end of his shift, either way, he's not really the fastest guy out there anyways. He gets beat, and it sucks there. And then they get their fresh legs, and Brandon Montour, Giroux, and Marchment, and they just take off. And a nice little play from, I can't remember if it was a Giroux or Marchment. It's probably Giroux because of the nifty sauce. And it lands on the tape of on Montour, and he just kind of redirects it. I can't remember if Jack Campbell went for the poke check or not, but it squeaks in 5-hole underneath the pad, and Leafs lose 3-2 in overtime. That goes at 2:26 of the overtime period. And like I said, you got a point. You're still 5 up onto the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, you win one. Bottom line, the Florida Panthers play tomorrow, and they play the Tampa Bay Lightning, right? So that's two really good teams going at it. And the Leafs play the Washington Capitals in D.C. tomorrow. So again, last time the Leafs played the Capitals, they won 7-3. Now, obviously, it's a very different team, very different games. 0-0 to start. You never know. And for the Leafs, I believe if they win and Tampa loses to Florida and rag, the Leafs clinch the spot, right? So they're that close. All they got to do is take care of business and get points. Get points, right? If it means losing another overtime game to the Washington Capitals was a suck and getting a point, fine. So be it. Just get me home ice. At this point, wins and losses don't bother me as much as they would earlier in the season when I'm trying to stay out of the wild card and trying to get home ice. We're at the point where you just need to get points. If you win against Washington, great. I think this Leafs team can do it. However, not the most confident in Källgren in that. I thought Jack Campbell played really well tonight. But Källgren net tomorrow, not too sure about it. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But either way, shots and goal in overtime were 2-1 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Shots for the game, 36-36. So again, a very good game. Very good two teams going at it. A very even game that ends up in overtime. It's fitting that it does, considering how evenly matched these teams were in this game. Now, power plays, Leafs were 0-2 in their power play. They were 1-2. Obviously, the Giroux goal in the second period to tie the game at 2 apiece. Jack Campbell, 3 goals and 35 shots. I thought he was fantastic. I really, really did. He made some big-time stops. I thought he made some, a lot of sound saves. And then that big save in overtime on Mackenzie Weegar to keep it tied at the time was really, really good. I thought Jack Campbell was fantastic tonight. TJ Brody had 2 assists in the game today. He's really the only guy with a multi-point night. And Austin Matthews, running out of time. 3 games to go. He needs 2 goals. Can he do it? We'll have to wait and see. All right? Now, Leaf fans, as I mentioned, the next game is tomorrow night on the second night of a back-to-back as the Leafs are in D.C. taking on the Capitals at 7 p.m. puck drop there. As the Buds look to get back into the win column. They've lost a couple games in a row, obviously getting the point tonight. But you look to get back into the win column and feel good about yourself on the road in Washington at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and not the ending to this game today, but enjoy the game overall because it was a really good hockey game. Smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from the game today for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Raptors edition, Game 5 between the Raptors and the Sixers on Monday night, 7:30 tip-off in Philly. Raptors looking to stay alive and force yet another game. Just look to live another day. And all right, and as for the Toronto Blue Jays, they're back in action tomorrow in the finale of the 3-game set against the Houston Astros in Houston, Texas. Who goes? Yusei Kikuchi goes for the Jays, and Luis Garcia goes for the Astros, 2:10 in Houston in the finale of that one. Jay's looking for the 5th consecutive victory. And as for the Toronto Maple Leafs, like we said, they're back in action tomorrow night, 7 p.m. puck drop in Washington, D.C. as the Buds looking to get back into the win column and get that much closer to clinching that number 2 seed in the Atlantic Division. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and not the ending to the game, but the game overall. We'll talk to you guys then.